Well, we got about 3 more days and then Google's having a keynote, which, I mean, to say that they announce exciting things is probably an overstatement. But regardless, there's not much else going on in the news today, so this is likely what's going to happen. I realize I haven't made a video on Google I/O 2019. That's probably because 2018 I/O was so boring to me. Everyone freaked out about Google Duplex. Oh my god, a computer talked on a phone and said, and that made it sound like a human. And then this morning when I asked everyone, like, so how many of you used Google Duplex? Most people are like, what the heck are you talking about? What is Duplex? So yeah, that was the most influential thing we got at the last Google I/O. So what's the biggest thing they're going to announce at Google I/O in 2019? Well, here it is. What would normally be good news for an Apple keynote is actually bad news for a Google keynote. They're announcing some hardware, which, as you guys know, in the past I've not been a fan of, but there's also absolutely zero secrets when it comes to the phones they're going to be dropping tomorrow. The Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL. Yes, that's 3 letters after the number 3 on that bigger model. We've talked about these phones in the past, and we were convinced that they were going to be released in March because we were getting leaks and unboxings way back in February and January. The idea that they were going to wait all the way until May to release these, even though they had working models already, I found hard to believe, but now it seems to be true. There's been a few more leaks where we've seen official packaging now of the Pixel 3a. So I know in the past, and oftentimes in our Discord, I'll say things like, nothing is confirmed until the actual event happens. Although this is one of those rare cases where it's like, no, the event hasn't happened, but it's absolutely confirmed. People have been using these on camera before. We know the exact specifications. They're made of plastic, okay? They have a headphone jack. They use the Snapdragon 670. They don't have that much RAM. The pricing is the one thing we're still a little bit unsure of, but if a lot of listing prices we've seen from other countries end up being real, you should expect the regular Pixel 3a to start at $400 and the Pixel 3a to start at $500. Or, worst case scenario, move everything up another $100, in which case I still think whether they start at $400 or $500, these new phones have to take the award. They get the medal, okay? If I did the smartphone awards, they get the trophy for most boring smartphone I've ever seen in 2019. The Pixel 3a has a big forehead, a big chin. It's made of plastic, shipping with the headphone jack for the lower budget market. Not a very fast Snapdragon chip, even though the OnePlus 6T is likely going to be getting a price drop as soon as OnePlus 7 comes out, and that has the Snapdragon 845. This doesn't even have the 800 series. We've already seen RAM management problems on the premium Pixel 3, which Google themselves admitted they had a hard time selling, and now the 3a is shipping and it has the same RAM, so oh god, I can't wait to see if Team Pixel decides they want to send me one of these phones. I believe I'm still in it. I'm still getting the emails to be a part of Team Pixel, so I guess we'll find out soon if Google wants to send me one to test. That'd be quite interesting, but yeah, they're essentially releasing the Pixel 2 at a lower price, and they added a headphone jack, because if you look at the designs, the 2 sizes, the specs, it really has not much different than the 2017 Pixel 2. So I guess if you're really into taking pictures and you love the Pixel software for some reason, this will be able to provide that at a lower price point. But my god, with the software and hardware issues we had with the premium Pixel 3, I can't imagine what kind of issues you might end up with the Pixel 3a. Who knows? Maybe it'll end up working great and there won't be any problems at all, and I'm just being too pessimistic. That is entirely possible, but I had a terrible experience with my $800, $900 Pixels, so don't blame me for getting worried. The other piece of hardware you should expect is the Nest Hub Max, which is a very weird combination of words, but it is a product that leaked on Google's site accidentally. They had it mentioned on the site for people who wanted to use Google Duo. They were like, and you can make calls using the Nest Hub Max, which mostly we're anticipating Google is using some Nest software, so this is going to have a camera on it, unlike the Google Home Hub, which is just a display attached to a Google Home, so it plays music, but it also has some visuals to go along with it. The Nest Hub Max is probably designed by Nest, has some security features, but it's a little bit bigger and probably a little bit more expensive than the Google Home Hub with that 10-inch display, as they mentioned on their website, and I imagine this is likely to cost $250 or $300 for people who wanted a Google Home Hub, but also want to be able to make video calls with Google Duo, and they want maybe some better sounding speakers than the Home Hub had to offer. I haven't messed around with the Home Hub, but I have heard some people that bought it and really enjoyed it, so there could be a good market for the Nest Hub Max, and in fact, of all things for them to announce later this week, that might be the most interesting one. That might be the one that most people end up getting, but of course where it's price pointed and what those features offer are probably what matter most. That's the majority of the hardware you should expect at this event. The Nest Hub Max and the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL. As for the rest of the event, you better expect they're going to talk about AI, which is going to solve all our problems. Even though Google Duplex still hasn't rolled out outside the US, or even in the entirety of the US, they're still experimenting with it. I'm sure it's going to get even better this year, and so is Google Photos and Google Stadia, which will be using machine learning to somehow make all of your internet faster. Yeah, they'll talk about a bunch of services that might end up getting canned in another 3 years or so, but Google loves talking about machine learning. They love talking about AI and analyzing all of your pictures in Google Photos so they get better at tracking faces so that it'll be easier to search your Google Photo library and find people you're looking for. They'll talk about some insane machine learning their company's been doing because they are the leader of that. It just usually doesn't persuade a lot of people to switch to their devices. Definitely do expect some more hands-on use with Android Q. The next version of Android, currently there's been betas that people are able to use, but the features are very, very small, very, very incremental, not something you'd expect from a whole number upgrade for Android. It's more the kind of changes you'd expect in a .1 update from iOS, like, oh, they've added the option to turn your buttons into squares, and the settings menu has a bit of a different color, and the settings app has a privacy tab. Kind of small features, nothing really big. Mark has pointed out that there's a screen recorder built into developer options, although it doesn't let you stop recording once you start, so clearly not a fully baked feature yet. Hopefully at Google I/O 2019 we get more of a breakdown list of all the major features coming to Android Q, which I'm sure all of you Android users will be getting within the next 100 years. Anywho, all of that is basically what you need to expect for Google I/O 2019. Will I watch it? Maybe. I really didn't have a good time last year, but if you want to watch it with me, I'll probably do it over on my Twitch page, so make sure you're following me there, and let me know what things you're most excited for at Google I/O 2019. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.